Okay, here we go. This is Garrett. We're playing Lord of the Rings, Rise to War. I've done hundreds and hundreds of battles in the 16 days of our campaign. And I want to give you an honest, simple review of about 8 commanders that I'm using day and night, day and night. I'm not going to use charts. I'm not going to use graphs. I'm not going to use math. And I'm not going to use statistics. I'm going to share with you from my heart how they're actually performing on the battlefield and give them a very quick rating. Let's make a short video. And I do have something to share with you about the demonic kingdom. But let's get started. We're going to go S tier first. S is the highest. Some people use a God tier, but I don't want to put God's name into a tier like that. That would be silly for me. So S tier is the highest. We're going to be doing the good side commanders only. Let's move quickly. For S tier, in my opinion, there's only 2 good side commanders, and that would be Dane. He is definitely S tier, without a doubt. I've used him a lot. And what might surprise you is Bjorn. Bjorn is also S tier. Now, if you watch other YouTube videos, many people will put him one step below Dane. I absolutely disagree. They're doing equal damage with terrible gear on. They're doing equal damage, and quite often Bjorn does better than Dane does. So these are the only 2 S tier, in my opinion. Now let's go to A tier. Gil, he is not S tier at all. He is a step below Dane, a step below Bjorn. So we'll put him, as you can hear, I'm still sick. We're going to put him on A tier. And I'm going to be making a separate video about him since he is my number 1 commander I'm using. So we got Gil-galad on the A tier. Gimli is equal with Gil, in my opinion. He's A tier also. They're doing equal damage, equal everything, and their gear is about equal. Well, Gil's is a tiny bit better, and Gimli stays up with him. So Gimli is equal to Gil as far as damage and fighting. Let me take a little break and share with you that the demonic kingdom are starting to manifest more and more. I've talked about this in another video. They're getting bolder. They're getting more aggressive. They're appearing much more in the daytime in all different types of shapes and sizes and manifestations. And I'm going to share with you what I've been seeing in videos in a few minutes. Let's go to Eomer. He might be S tier. Look at my mouse. He might be a tiny step below Dane and a tiny step below Bjorn, but he's much more usable. You can put him in a damage build. You can put him in a men's build. You can put him in a mounted build. He's more valuable, more usable, and has more options. I've never seen anybody put Eomer up in the S tier, but he's unbelievable. He's more valuable than these guys. In fact, he's the most valuable commander on the good side, in my opinion. You want to invest in him and max him out, because as the game is right now in 2.0, he's more valuable and better than everyone else. Now for damage only, He's a step below these two here. One step below. But besides these two, he dominates Gil, and he does better than Gimli in damage. His gear is about equal to Gimli. Possibly a little bit better, but possibly about equal if you look at the both. And he outperforms Gimli in about every single fight. He's just about S tier now. Okay, who else am I using? Gandalf. Not too good. And I'm not talking about his gear. I'm talking about healing is very weak in 2.0. The healing needs a big buff. Big buff. The healers are almost unusable. Excuse me. Been sick for about 7 weeks now, going through the spiritual warfare. Healing, very bad in 2.0. I'm using him because I'm a free-to-play player. I'm free to play. He's all I got. Look, this is all I got to play with. Yeah, look, I have nothing to play with as a free-to-play player. So I'm using him, but the healing is not that good. We're going to put him in A tier. I'm sorry, I misspoke. We're not doing a God tier, everybody. We're doing S tier first, A tier second, A tier, Eomer, number 1, Gimli, and we might get to a few more. He's going to have to be B tier, unfortunately. Legolas. He's doing better and better. He got a buff a few weeks ago. I guess most people don't know that. So, how is he performing? Let's look at his gear carefully here. Absolute garbage for him. This gear is not for him. And he is doing the same damage as Gimli in practically fight after fight. Now, he doesn't match Gimli's damage in every fight. In every fight, Gimli is going to be a little bit better. But in quite a lot of fights, Legolas he's matching Gimli's damage. So, where do we put him? Is he A tier at the very end? I don't think so. We're going to put him number 1 on the B tier. He's a notch below Gimli, and he's 2 notches below Eomer. He is better than Gandalf, without a doubt. That's about all I'm using. Let me see. Theoden, not as good as people say on the internet. Now, I had him in really good gear. Look down here. I took the gear off of him because he's not performing. His damage is no good. Now, you might be thinking, well, yeah, you have to use him with mounted units. And I know that. You got to use him with mounted units. But these mounted units are very, very expensive. And when you're getting wiped out in battle after battle against stronger enemies, it takes forever to build the cataphract. It just takes forever. So he is moving down, and that's very unpopular on YouTube. He's not as good as what the other YouTubers are telling you. Now, once you can get a full formation of mounted units, and you have built a whole bunch of backup units for when the first ones die, at that point, you could put him at the very end of A tier, the very end. Other than that, he's B tier. He is underperforming. He's always dead last in damage. I'm not using anyone else. I'm free to play. Not really. I'm using Boromir a little bit, but he's underperforming too. Boromir, underperforming. He's B tier now. He's not A tier. And the reason why is this meta is all about damage, and his specialty is evade. The evade is underperforming. I'm going to do a video about him. Let's say goodbye with this. Some of the demons are appearing as giants. Some of them are appearing as black, wavy, thick smoke flying. Most of the demons appear as orbs flying through the air at nighttime. Now they're moving in daytime too, but you can't see them obviously. Some of the demons are appearing as these creatures, like a half spider, half praying mantis with glowing red eyes. I've seen video of multiple of those types of entities. And let me think if what else I can mention before we say goodbye. Scary beings with a cape on, and you can't see their face. All right, Lord Jesus, we need you so much more than we ever thought we did. Wow, do we need you.